What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well. It is like almost 1 in the morning, late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. I just saw Spiral from the book of Saw, and I just have to talk about it because I feel like whoever watches this video deserves to to hear this and be like, you know what? That's true. And if you don't agree, I completely understand, and all film is subjective. But I sort of have strong feelings about this, and they're not good. They're not good. Keep in mind, I didn't hate this movie. Okay? It's perfectly watchable, well acted, well shot, production value. It's good. It's fine. Um, but where the movie falters is some decisions with the script and just the overall way they greenlit the film and the execution of it and the writing of certain scenes of it. It doesn't work. This is going to be spoiler filled, so if you haven't seen the movie or you just don't care at this point, I'm gonna get into it, and I'm gonna tell you why the movie doesn't work and why the movie doesn't work as a Saw movie. And it's not like I'm just saying, no, it didn't really work as a Saw movie. I'm saying it did not work as a Saw film. And every time, even if I ever rewatch this movie, which I might, and if I do, um, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard because I know what happens, and it's like there was a lot of potential as something else. Now let me just get into it, okay? No more beating around the bush. The twist and big reveal of the film is the new Jigsaw copycat killer. This movie really has nothing to do with his John Kramer. I almost forgot his name. Can you believe it? John Kramer. This movie really has nothing to do with him. He's mentioned. He's referenced like twice or three times in this whole film. But it's really more about this mystery and who is killing these new who's doing these new murders, really, and what is that about? And when you finally find out that the reason why this guy is killing these people is because he wants to kill the crooked cops. He wants to kill cops that are doing. It's kind of a socially relevant because there's a lot of crooked stuff going on with cops to this day. So I get why this movie decided to take that choice. Like, wow, we could really kind of have people relate to this and understand where we're coming from. And I get that, and I have no problem with that. But that does not work in a Saw movie. It just doesn't work in a Saw movie. And I'll tell you why. It doesn't work in a Saw movie because, first of all, every time someone gets killed, there's never the mystery of, wow, I wonder what this person did. Is he a rapist? Is he a killer? Is he a thief? It's always, well, this person, has something to do with crooked cops and that, which is disappointing because you already know basically why these people are captured. So then that leads you to, okay, well, how are the traps going to be then? Because when the movie starts and you realize, okay, the killer is focusing on crooked cops. Once you already know that, the mystery of what these people have done is gone. So when you got those great dialogues from John Kramer, when they would play the recording button and they would say, hello, I would like to play a game. And he would do this monologue of, you have done this in your life, and now you have to decide if you want to save a life or whatever. That's gone. The mystery is gone there. And I don't know if I want to say the magic, but the specialness of those recordings is gone. And all you get is basically the same voice, which sounds very feminine. I was talking to my friends on the car ride home from this. The new voice and the recordings of the new Jigsaw recording voice, or whatever you want to call it, it sounds like a woman put on Kylo Ren's mask. Like if you went to Walmart or whatever, the Disney store, got a Kylo Ren mask, put it on, had your girlfriend or your mother put the mask on, and read these lines, it would sound very similar. And it wasn't effective. The movie is missing John Kramer. Even in the Jigsaw movie that came out in 2018, which I did just rewatch all these movies, or watch them for the first time. So I'm very fresh up on these Saw movies. And I actually am a fan, to believe it or not. And I love the John Kramer character. So if you're going to have a Saw movie, you have to pay homage to that, really. And all this movie does is reference John Kramer, like I said. And then let's get back on track here. So the mystery of what the people have done is gone. It's all going to come back to you're a crooked cop, okay? And you have something to do with that. So then you say, okay, how are the traps? How are the torture sets, or whatever you want to call it? And they're actually not very good. They're some of the weakest I've seen in the franchise. And they don't fit. They don't fit into the story. Every time you go back to a scene where there's torture, and it's not as many as you might think, and they're spaced out quite a bit in the film. Every time they show up, it's almost like, oh, we're in a Saw movie. That's right, because it disguises itself as like a undercover drama. Not really undercover, but it's like a suspense mystery thriller, really, of who's doing these murders and why are they targeting the cops, the undercover cops. All that's fine. Like I said, I do like that, and I feel like this movie would have had such strong potential with that storyline if it didn't surround itself with the Saw name. Because when you surround yourself with the Saw name, you have the boxes to tick. And some of the boxes they do tick, but it feels like they have to do it. The Saw stuff that happens in this movie feels like they had to do it because it's a Saw movie. You can tell that the story that this movie cares about most is the message of these cops being crooked. That's the strong message that this movie wants to get across, and all the Saw stuff is second to that, and I don't think they cared about it as much. Where when you want to watch a Saw movie, that stuff's got to be at the top of the radar, because John Kramer gave all that torture porn stuff. I don't even know how to describe it. He gave it more meaning. And he gave it more depth and levity. And this, all the torture stuff, there's really no levity there. For me, anyway. And, the best set piece I think the movie has is Chris Rock's old partner, who is now speaking in a church, and he's been captured. And he's tied up, and there's glass bottles that are being shredded, and all the little shards of glass are basically shooting at this guy at his back, and he's getting impaled. That's the most Saw thing the movie does. It's the best set piece. The other thing, the guy's fingers gets cut off. The way it's shot and done is very, like, okay, we've seen better in a Saw movie. The first thing with the guy getting his tongue ripped out in the subway or the train or whatever, it was okay. But once that voice starts speaking and it sounds like feminine Kylo Ren from Kmart, it's just not as effective. It's just not as effective. This movie doesn't work as a Saw movie because all the Saw stuff is second to the crooked cop stuff and the mystery of it. In the other Saw movies, I felt like there was a really good balance of the mystery and the cops and the detectives trying to figure out what's going on. There was a great balance between that and the actual torture stuff. And the torture stuff had a story to it. And it always felt kind of fresh to me anyway. It was always I don't know, just I was always interested. In this, it's like, okay, you can make a movie about a guy that, had his father killed by a crooked cop, and when he becomes older, he joins the police force and becomes he starts taking out these undercover why do I keep saying undercover? He keeps taking out these crooked cops one by one. And it's a big mystery movie, what this movie tried to be. But don't combine it with the Saw name, because I'll even say this. In one of the Saw movies, it might have been the fourth one, the fifth one. I think it was the fourth one, could be wrong. But when John Kramer, I think it was the beginning of the fifth one, when the guy's laying there and there's the big sword knife circle looking thing, and it keeps moving down and it cuts his stomach open. I think that it might have been the opening to 5. But the guy that did that was working for the FBI, or he was a crooked cop as well, or whatever he was. When he talks to John Kramer in that scene where Kramer has him in the chair, basically what John Kramer says is, "Look, you're making me look like crap. You did this, and it's not as good as what I do. I do better at the traps and all this, and the voice recordings and everything." And he even says to the guy in that movie, "You're slandering my name, So how about we work together, and I can teach you how to do it right, and follow me as an apprentice," or whatever. That's basically what happened. And that worked for me because he was under Kramer's guidance. In this movie, it's just a guy that his father got killed, and he heard of the John Kramer guy, so he says, "Oh, that's cool. So let me combine that with what I'm trying to do with the crooked cops," where it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work, and it didn't work for me. So, yeah, I guess John Kramer said it in the movie. He's the best at it. And even in the 2018 Jigsaw movie, spoilers for that, half of that movie is a flashback, as a lot of the other Saw movies are. Half of that movie is a flashback that John Kramer set up. Those traps and everything. So I guess I like that part of it. When you find out in the present day, the guy is, I don't know. I didn't really like the Jigsaw movie either, but to be honest with you, I like that more than I like this. Because this just feels like a dollar store version of a Saw movie, because it felt like the Saw stuff was all shoot in, and they didn't care about it as much as the story they were trying to tell. Where in the Saw movie, all the torture stuff is like a serious part of the story. Where it is a serious part of the story here too, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I hope I was able to get my points across here. It's just, I didn't like the movie. Like I said, if you watch it and sit there as a casual viewer, you might like it. I went with a friend tonight who hasn't seen the Saw movies in a very long time, and liked it. He thought it was good, because guess what? Editing and acting and tension-wise, if you're into it, you're going to like it. But if you look at this movie for what it really is, it just doesn't work. Doesn't work. So, those are my thoughts on Spiral from the Book of Saw. Didn't like it. My favorite Saw movies are the first one, the third one, and 5. I hear a lot of people say 5 is boring. I actually wasn't bored by 5. I actually really liked 5. 6 is probably my 4th favorite. So yeah, top 4. 1, 3, 5, 6. So, and yeah, this is probably my second to last favorite. The worst one is Saw 7, Saw 3D, or Saw the Final Chapter, whatever the hell you want to call it. They brought back Carrie Ellis' character in the worst way possible. And that's the worst one. This is probably second to worst. This is in 8th place. Spiral is in 8th place. Jigsaw is in 7th place. So, yeah. That's my brief rankings, I guess. But, guys, comment your thoughts. Did you see it? What do you think about it? I guess this video is for the hardcore Saw fans, or just Saw fans in general that, you know, like the series and have seen them recently, I guess. Because if you haven't seen them recently, you're not as invested or attached to the John Kramer character. And I know I keep talking about him, but he is the heart and soul of this series. You know, he is. And he's a great character. I love that character. And he is mentioned here, but that's it. So I could probably go on about this for another 45 minutes, to be honest with you. But we're going to cut it here. I hope you liked the video. Comment down below. Agree, disagree. Let me know your thoughts. And look, Chris Rock, he's good in the movie. Like I said, the acting is fine. But we have to look a little deeper. And that's what I tried to do here. And I had to get all this off my chest and just let you know that if you're a hardcore Saw fan and you watch this video and you don't care about spoilers and you haven't seen the movie yet, it's something that might disappoint you, as it has me. But, yeah, so, guys, you can follow me on Twitter at RyanKing72 and on Instagram at KingOfRises131. More on all that in the description of this video. Probably going to post this mid to late Sunday, which is technically right now. It's like 1 in the morning right now, so gonna go to bed. So, yeah. Again, thank you so much for watching this. It's been fun, and I will see you guys next time. Over and out.